Hi, I'm Mike, owner of the In Groove in Phoenix, Arizona. Today I'm doing the new arrival video for December 12th, 2025. I've not really been in the store this entire week. I have been sick, and I'm getting over it now. So I've not actually seen any of the records that I'm about to show you. I just popped into the store about 25 minutes ago, and I kind of quickly looked at it, but normally when I do these videos, I kind of have an idea of what's here. You might not get that impression, but that is the case. I normally do know what actually is coming here. Now, I did order all this stuff, so at one point in time, I actually did see it. But this is going to be kind of one of those videos where I kind of peruse the bin and we figure out what's coming out this week together. Yeah, a few things are restocks, but for the most part, there is a ton of there is a ton of new arrivals here and a lot of audiophile titles. I see a lot of Blue Note tone poets and other jazz-related audiophile titles, and I don't even know what the hell this is in the back. These are, you know, non-audiophile titles because they don't have the loose baggie, but let's discover this stuff together. Okay, only a couple of pre-orders to tell you guys about. This is not really the pre-order season. They normally load up pre-orders for the holiday season, so the pre-orders that would come now would be kind of later on in the year. They're still doing pre-orders, but there's not as many. Okay, Michael Jackson number ones. This was a CD greatest hits compilation that was super popular on CD when it came out. It is coming out on vinyl January 30th, next year. Mobile Fidelity announced they have Emerson, Lake and Palmer's self-titled, no, what is that? Pictures at an Exhibition. I didn't write it down, but I think it's Pictures at an Exhibition. Coming out on LP and CD with a to-be-announced date. Also, because I'm just kind of getting back into the store, I'm not going to be doing a whatnot later on today. I could. I mean, I'd probably cough a little bit on you guys, but, you know, from my office, it's not a big deal. But I didn't spend any of the time getting stuff together to whatnot, so that's not going to be really beneficial to whatnot nothing. So we're going to skip it. We'll have one next week. Okay, let's show you guys this week's new arrivals. And some of this stuff, of course, like always, came out last week, but it came after I filmed the video. Like the Doors, 6 album, well, all Jim Morrison era albums, as a, what is this? This is a Blu-ray audio box set. Blu-ray audio and Dolby Atmos. Look how inexpensive this is compared to other previous versions of this. This is a 6-disc Blu-ray audio box set for 80 bucks. I mean, that's a pretty smoking deal if you're into Blu-ray audios. I mean, I haven't heard a Dolby Atmos disc yet. I'm more of a 2-channel guy, but one of these days I would like to. But yeah, there it is. Reasonably priced. This is a holiday 7-inch Laufey. A very Laufey holiday. The Santa Claus is Coming to Town edition. 7-inch single on, well, don't know what color the vinyl is. Maybe red. Seems like it would be red. That seems like a good choice. Another Blu-ray audio. We have the Alan Parsons Project. The Alan Parsons Project iRobot on Blu-ray. Featuring stunning Dolby Atmos and 5.1 channel surround sound mixes. Also contains a new stereo HD remaster of the original album by Miles Showell at Abbey Road Studios. So 2-channel Atmos and a 5.1 surround sound. I did have a 5.1 surround sound back in the day, but you know, that was 20 years ago. Got a restock of the Bill Evans Trio Haunted Heart. This is a Riverside Studio box set. This came out actually a little while back. Lacquer's cut by Kevin Gray at Coherent. Let's see. Packed with rare photos, plus an introduction by John Densmore, the drummer of the Doors. Very cool. This sold out the first time around. This is just a restock. So normally I save the restocks to the end, which I will do as well, but the box sets I do first because I want to get them out of the way. The Beatles Anthology. This is also a restock. We were out of it for the last week or so, but it is back in stock. Okay, let's get into this week's new arrivals, starting with the Heath Brothers, a very rare Strata East title, a very desirable. I mean, I have a copy of this personally. I had one in the store for sale about 10 years ago. That's the last time I actually seen a copy of this record in person. I want to say it went for a couple $100 at the time. I'm sure this is going to absolutely smoke it. This is essentially a Strata East tone poet. Mastered by Kevin Gray at Coherent, cut from the original analog tapes, and then they recreated this beautiful tip-on jacket. If you are into more funk, I don't want to quite say avant-garde, but a little more on the avant-garde side. Some of their stuff is a little more avant-garde than others. Some like this are just a proper like soul jazz record. If you're into that kind of stuff, give the Strata East label a try. This is a fantastic title. The Heath brothers, marching on. Also, Music Inc., Charles Tolliver and Stanley Cowell. Same thing, all analog, mastered from the original master tape by Kevin Gray at Coherent. Again, these original Strata titles are so expensive. They're anywhere from like, almost everyone except for a couple titles are $100+ albums, if you can find them. But a lot of them are $300, $400, $500, $600, $700, $1,000 albums. And that's when you can find them. So, and not only that, they weren't made on the best vinyl. So like everything about this series is like a home run. This is the kind of, the originals are nice, they're cool, they're collectible, they're rare, but it's more of a thing like, hey man, I got this, check it out, it's part of my collection. But if you really want to listen to it, like, there's just no way these are going to be beaten. Cecil McBee, Mute Mia. Same thing, Kevin Gray, analog tapes, beautiful gatefold tip-on jacket. Okay, this next one, let's make some space. This next one is interesting. I think it'll be wildly popular because it's Ringo Starr. If you didn't know, he was in a band called the Beatles. The Beatles are a very popular band. They're heavily collectible. And even if the record is crap, and some might consider this a crap record, this is Stop and Smell the Roses. Even if you consider it a crap record, it doesn't matter because there are enough Beatles collectors that want everything that this will always be desirable because they only made 400 copies of this worldwide. They're all numbered on the back, 1 to 400. And this is a liquid-filled record. So they actually put the record on the front. You can see the liquid moving in the record. Look at that. This is copy 282 of Ringo's Stop and Smell the Roses. Now, I heard this is made with a newer liquid-filled record technology that is not prone to leaking. I guess the earlier iterations of these liquid-filled records, there was issues. But I guess they've re-engineered these to where this liquid should stay in there forever and, yeah, not leak. The coolest thing about this, not the fact that it's liquid-filled, not the fact that it's numbered. The coolest thing to me is the hype sticker actually says, drummer of the Beatles. If you didn't know, Ringo Starr was the drummer of the Beatles, now you do. If you didn't know Ringo Starr was the drummer of the Beatles, you are either young, so you get a pass, or you are old and you're stupid. One of those two things. I'm going to go with one of those two things. But if you needed to know, it is on a hype sticker for you. Another liquid-filled record. This is kind of cool. Cleared with a black liquid-filled record. Liquid fill. This is Duran Duran Thanksgiving Live, the Ultra Chrome Latex and Steel Tour. This is number 300 and... the hell is that? 300 and... looks like a Y, 3YL. You know, Europeans. They write numbers funny. Okay. Blue Note Tone Poet, Donald Byrd at the Half Note Cafe with Pepper Adams, Duke Pearson. Let's see, Jazz at the Waterfront. This is Volume 2. All analog, cut from the original master tape by Kevin Gray. The audiophile label series that started it all. We have Strata East titles made in this configuration because of them. We have, for instance, this next title, Wes Montgomery's Bumpin', part of the Acoustic Sound series, but modeled after, of course, the Tone Poets. All analog, cut from the master tape. Let's see who did this. It doesn't mention it, but most of the time now it's Matt Luthans on the newer ones. You know, he's doing them at the mastering lab in Salina, Kansas. He's kind of their resident mastering engineer there. Another great title, musically a fantastic record. Clifford Brown, Max Roach. Actually, I love Harold Land, who's on this as well. But a title, it's an MRC title from right around, what, 56 this originally came out? It doesn't say. This was, my guess is around 56, maybe 57. But a very difficult record to find a clean copy of. But here you get a beautifully nice, clean copy at 33. It's come out at 45 RPM, I think Analog Productions did it. Me personally, I want it as a 33. But wait, there's more. More jazz, that is. my favorite jazz series that is currently coming out now, because they're doing a lot of those great titles that haven't been done to death. The original Jazz Classic series by Craft Recordings. Same thing, all mastered by Kevin Gray. I guess Matt Luthens did a couple of them, but for the most part, Kevin Gray did. Matt Luthens did a few at Coherent, but Kevin's done most of them. This is After Hours with Thad Jones, Kenny Burrell, Mal Waldron, Paul Chambers, Arthur Taylor, and Frank West. Beautiful tip-on jacket. This series is just fantastic. Every one of them is a pickup. More jazz. It just happens to be an audiophile jazz week. There's other stuff in here, I promise. I mean, it can't all be jazz. But I guess the start of it is mostly jazz. Jimmy Smith's House Party with Lee Morgan, Curtis Fuller, Lou Donaldson, George Coleman, Tina Brooks, Kenny Burrell, Art Blakey, Donald Bailey, and Eddie McFadden. What a lineup. All analog, cut from the original master tape by Kevin Gray. The other Blue Note Classic series for today is Johnny Griffin, Blue Note 1559, Volume 2, a very pricey record if you find an original. All the Blue Note 1500 series are. But here you get it for under 30 bucks as a Blue Note Classic. Hank Mobley, John Coltrane, Art Blakey, Wynton Kelly, Paul Chambers. This is some lineups right here, boy. This is some good stuff. So this is another new jazz audiophile series. This is the Verve Vault. And unlike the Verve by request with questionable mastering and questionable sources, who the hell knows what you're getting, these are all analog, cut from tape by Ryan K. Smith at Sterling Sound. And so far, the titles in this series I've heard have been killer. Max Roach, Percussion, Bittersweet. Another Verve by request, Verve Vault. Archie Shepp, 4 for Train. The Revolution Will Not Be Televised. Fantastic album. Gil Scott-Heron. What an absolute phenomenal record. Who did this? Mastered by Nick Robbins at Sound Mastering Limited. This is on The Flying Dutchman. Great record. Gil Scott-Heron. Another jazz title. Next title's rock, though. So this is an ECM Luminescence series title. These are all analog, cut from the master tapes, with newly designed packaging and original artwork. John McLaughlin's on this. Jan Garbeck. Zakir Hussan. What's the name of this title? Making Music. The Violent Femmes. This is a translucent light blue vinyl variation of their self-titled album with Blister in the Sun. We've got Sabrina Carpenter, Fruitcake. This is a 12-inch EP. Ingredients, and then they list the titles. Nonsense Christmas, Buy Me Presents, Santa Doesn't Know You Like I Do. That's interesting. Olivia Rodrigo, live from Glastonbury, a BBC recording on light blue and cobalt vinyl. 2 LP set. Sting, The Last Ship, the extended edition. The Alan Parsons Project, Tales of Mystery and Imagination, Edgar Allan Poe. Let's see, Half Speed, remastered by Miles Shaw at Abbey Road Studios. Scorpions, Coming From Home Live. This is a live recorded 60th anniversary show in Hanover, July 5th, 2025. Damn. It's only a few months ago, but here it is on green vinyl. And it looks like we have it on red vinyl as well. Trying to prevent myself from going into a coughing fit. Yes, on black vinyl, same show. 2 LP, 180 gram vinyl, black, 33 RPM, 16-page booklet. We've got Black Sabbath, the self-titled album. This is the deluxe edition with a bunch of bonus tracks on disc 2. Studio outtakes, instrumentals, Wicked World, B-side of Evil Woman. Yeah. Jerry Garcia Band. Live at the Warfield, March 2nd, 1981. Mastered from Soundboard Recordings. This is a, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4 LP set. Cat Stevens, Yusuf. Tell 'Em I'm Gone, 10th Anniversary Edition. Boz Scaggs, Detour. The Queen of Salsa, Celia Cruz. AAA all analog lacquers cut by Clint Holly at Well Made Music on Fania. This is what, a 10th anniversary? A 20th anniversary of J Dilla's Donuts. Lacquer cut at Bernie Grunman Mastering. 2 LP 180 gram vinyl cut at 45 RPM. Here you go, folks. Your audiophile records are not just limited to jazz and classical, but now you can get yourself a high quality mastered by maybe Chris Bellman? I don't know, it doesn't say who, it just says mastered at Bernie Grunman Studios. But cut at 45 RPM J Dilla Donuts. The Dogfather, Snoop Doggy Dogg. This is the exclusive graphite vinyl version. Executive produced by Big Snoop Dogg. Is Big Snoop Dogg different than Snoop Doggy Dogg? Or is that Snoop Doggy Dogg? That's his alter ego producer name. Oh, I'm sorry. You're going to have to contact Big Snoop Dogg. He's not here right now. I don't know. Gatefold. Decent cover. Looks like a nice tip-on style jacket. Looks well done. The Dog Pound, dog food. It's executive produced by Big Snoop Dogg, speaking of. Official Death Row record product. That's kind of a ridiculous, look at this big white box they put that in on the back of the cover. Talk about screwing up the flow of the jacket. Playboy Cardi, Whole Lotta Red, 5th Anniversary Edition on opaque white vinyl. This is the indie exclusive. And then you have the 5-year anniversary opaque white vinyl alternative artwork version. And by alternative, they mean no artwork, because it just says red on the cover. All right, what do we got here? Jelly Roll, Self-Medicated. Some more Jelly Roll. A Beautiful Disaster. Rekiwan, Only Built For, Cuban Links, Part 2. This is the indie vinyl exclusive with the Fat Pete's Obi on the right. Well, your left. See, it's not all jazz. A lot of hip hop too. My staff put a mermaid sticker on my thermos. Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, 20th Anniversary Edition, pressed on 240 gram black vinyl biscuits. Wednesday, Season 2, soundtrack highlights from the Netflix series. My first wife, my first ex-wife, I should say. My family wasn't a big fan of her. They actually didn't like her very much. They said that she reminded them of Wednesday Addams. So they would call me up on the phone and they'd be like, is Wednesday there? What about Wednesday? Is she coming? Nobody actually called her by her name. They just called her Wednesday. Didn't bother me at the time. It's true. Didn't last long. Okay, Wicked for Good, the original motion picture score. John Powell and Stefan Schwartz. Let's see, Queer, the original score by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. Ooh, this looks good. What is this? Khalil El Zabar lit the spirit out live at Mui, London. Let's see. Interesting. What is this? The legendary Ethnic Heritage Ensemble performing new unrecorded material. This could be interesting. The Oscar Peterson, just Oscar Peterson, Around the World. This is on Mack Avenue, the same folks who are doing the Strata East titles, featuring 7 previously unreleased solo, duo, and trio live performances. So there was some more jazz in there. Jacob Collier, The Light for Days, on Decca. From Chesky, we have the world's greatest audiophile vocal recordings. This is a one-step. Let's see, from the Chesky Original Masters. The 4th installment of the best-selling compilation series. Rebecca Pigeon, Davis True Story, Casey Abrams, Macy Gray. Volume 4. From Blue Note, we have Out of and Into, Motion 2. Gerald Clayton is on this. He actually is the piano player on, I want to say not only Kirsten Edkins, but again, I've got brain fog. I want to say it's the Coherent Records, Kirsten Edkins, and the Anthony Wilson. Phenomenal player. Yeah, he had to be, right? Because I saw him in concert. I was sitting right next to his piano when I saw the Anthony Wilson release party. Great piano player. He is on that as well. Hermanos Gutierrez, Sondio Cosmico. This is on blue and yellow indie exclusive vinyl. Taking Back Sunday. Tell All Your Friends on Maelstrom vinyl. This is Bring Me the Horizon. This is a 10th anniversary picture disc of That's the Spirit. And also the standard vinyl version, I guess. Yeah, 10th anniversary vinyl variant. So you can get a picture disc or standard vinyl. The Pogues. Rum, Sodomy, and the Lash. This is the 40th anniversary 2LP edition. Limited edition red marble vinyl with B-sides, BBC sessions, and rarities. And we've got the Pogues on a Zoetrope disc. This is Fairy Tale of New York. 12-inch Zoetrope. Blur, The Great Escape, 30th anniversary edition, plus a bonus disc of B-sides. Conflict DLC. Health. Indie record store exclusive, limited translucent ruby red vinyl. And then I have it as a standard black vinyl. Portugal the Man. Shish. That's the name of the album. Shish. Pressed on red Eco vinyl. Oh, my favorite. I love the Eco vinyl. It's the best. Comes with all those bonus pops and clicks. The best. Fields of Nephilim, Dawn Razor. All 14 album tracks pressed on 2 LPs for the first time for improved fidelity on white vinyl. We've got brand new The Devil and God Are Raging Inside Me. 2 LP set. Curve. Doppelganger. Troy Sylvan, In a Dream. This is a 12-inch EP. Kathy Smith, number 2 on Elemental Music, includes 2 Never before released bonus tracks. Richie Havens. Alarm Clock includes 2 never before released bonus tracks. This is on a Galaxy Effect vinyl. Elemental music as well. We've got Sudden Archives, the BPM. This is a indie vinyl variant on ruby red vinyl. The track listings are all synth waves. It's good. Or, you know, yeah. Alice in Wonderland, Ghost World, glow-in-the-dark vinyl. OAR, Stories of a Stranger. This is the 20th anniversary edition on Craft Recordings. Giveon, Beloved. I have actually heard this artist quite a few times. I'm not going to tell you guys how. I just have. Marlena Shaw, The Spice of Life, on Cadet. This is on Vampy Soul. This is a good record, and this is actually a hard soul record to find on Cadet. It's not a common one. Let's see, what does this say? Well, it's in Spanish, so I can't read it to you. There I Go, Vincent Mason. Chaeyoung, Twice, Little Fantasy Volume 1 on Republic. What is this? World music, maybe K-pop? I'm not sure. Dangerous Toys, Demolition on Orange Swirl Marble Effect vinyl. This is a good record. Don't sleep on this. Los Amigos, Invisibles, the new sound of Venezuelan Gonzdera. A friend of mine loved this record, and I used to go over to his house, and he played it quite frequently, and it's quite good. He was a big Bossa Nova fan. That's, you know, and everything derivative of that as well, he picked up. Thalia, Arasando. This is the 25th anniversariaro of this particular artist, who I've never heard of. They are making a lot more Latin music, which is good. I mean, it's not something I listen to, but it sells well in the store, and people have been asking for it for years. This is the same artist, Thalia, El Sexto Sendito, 20th anniversariaro of this particular record. Hector, El Father, The Bad Boy, the Most Wanted edition. This is a 3-disc set, another import. Well, it looks like, yeah, another Spanish release. Ivy Queen, Drama Queen, the deluxe edition. This is, yeah, another Spanish release on Machete Music. Angel Chris, Showtime. Another Machete Music title. 2 more. Caribbean Connection. This is a various artists compilation. All on Machete Music. And then Echo Presenta Invasion, another various artists compilation. Okay, so that is it for this week's new arrivals. I do caught a couple of popular restocks I'm going to show you guys, starting with Paul Simon's Graceland from my top 100 imprint analog records you should own list. Fantastic title. You should own it. The Grateful Dead, 50th anniversary of Blues for Allah. This is a restock of The Phantom of the Opera. This is the original cast recording on North American limited edition red vinyl. Actually saw that on Broadway about 3 years ago when I saw David Byrne, who I'll be seeing here in April because he just announced that he's coming to Phoenix. This is very exciting. On a side note, if you're even a minor Talking Heads fan or David Byrne fan, you really should see this show. It's fantastic. Russ, God. Rostropowitch, there we go. Tip of my brain. Chopin, Sonata 65, and Schumann's Adagio and Allegro number 70. This is part of the Deutsche Grammophon Original Source Series. All analog, cut from the original half-inch 4-track tapes. By Sidney Meyer, who's doing the upcoming Decca series, made essentially just like these Deutsche Grammophon titles. And the last title to show you guys, it is a restock, but I sold out of them pretty quickly. That is the Beatles Anthology 4. All right, you can get all this stuff online at theingroove.com. Until next time.